Okay, hello and welcome to our class about our very last tab, our very last applet. So this is the last one in this little series I'm doing. And that applet happens to be your consumer applet. So what does a consumer applet do? Kind of like it says, it's anything that's consumer facing. So in this case, it's going to be your app. This is not your command app. That's your side of things. It's going to be the public facing side, the consumer facing side. So your KW consumer app. And then the other thing that it's going to control is your KW provided website. So if you have a website through another provider, such as like Wix or something like that, you're likely going to edit that elsewhere. But as far as just our typical .kw.com pages, so mine is heatherhuber.kw.com. They look kind of like this. There's some things in here that you can edit. That is what we're going to be going over today. So we're going to go all the way down to the bottom here under consumer. And you'll notice I have a little thing pop up. We've switched you over to your individual command account as we work to add team functionality to this application. So there are a couple things left in command that aren't teamified yet, and this is one of them. So this is going to do my individual heatherhuber.kw.com page. So I like to go over this tab, this applet, just because, in my opinion, this is the least intuitive applet out of all of them. It's kind of like, okay, well, I want to do this, but where do I go for that? So you kind of have to know your way around it. So like I said, this will be recorded, those of you listening in right now, so you can go back and watch it as many times as you need to. But they're constantly updating and things are getting better and better as they go. So I clicked consumer. This is kind of our homepage type thing for that. And you can see I've got a whole bunch of different pages here showing me 1 through 10 out of 17. And these are for my agent site pages. So these are anything that would go under this drop down here. And you'll see I don't have 17 drop downs over here. That's because this little eyeball here indicates whether or not it's active. So the schools page, for instance, I have a little eyeball there. I can click on it, and that's going to show me what it looks like. Not enough memory to open this page. So we will stick with 2 tabs. And that would be the school finder that I put in here. And I can show you how to do a couple of these. I do have, if you go back to our Keller Williams page, or I'm sorry, our Keller Williams YouTube page, I've gone and done an in-depth, much more in-depth class on how to add third-party sites like this. So this is from greatschools.org, and I just happened to add it in. And I can put a link for that in the comments to this as well. I'll end up doing that at the end. My memory. Get out of that for a minute. So on this page, you can see these are the different, as I said, the different sub pages that I have for my website. We have when they were created, whether or not they're active. Now this ellipsis over here, if I click on that, it's going to allow me to either edit or delete. So not a ton of functionality there. And then if we click this, much like other places in command, it's only letting me see 1 through 10. If I click that, I can change that. So if I want to see all 17 at once, I could click this show 25 and it will show all of them. So you can see now I have more of these teal eyeballs. So these are the pages that I have that are active. So download my app, free home valuation, about me, contact us. You notice these have kind of some weird numbers in front of them. Don't worry about that. It's not going to show up that way. I'll show you later how you can edit that. So if I go down here to configure my site, if you have never set up your site yet, this is where you want to start. And you would click, I want to use the new KW agent sites, which is a bit of a misnomer because they've been around for like 2.5, 3 years now. But you would click that. I want to use the new KW agent sites, submit. And for me, I've already set them up, but you'll probably get a little a walkthrough sort of thing. Oh, I guess that's the same thing up there. Didn't realize that. already have mine set up. So it'll give you the, oh, what are the ones it gives you? The contact us, the about me. There's like some sort of a team type thing. I think there is contact us, about me. I forget what the third one is because I don't like to use it. Just doesn't really apply to me. So I don't use it. But if you want to add your own pages, you can click create a new page here on my agent site. So if you click on my agent site, that's going to be my heatherhuber.kw.com and that drop down. So if I click that and I click create page, it takes me to this editor. I'll say there's pros and cons for using this. So this is your KW provided site, which means KW wants things to look relatively uniform among their agents. So you're not going to be able to change as many things as maybe you want to. There's always going to be that header at the top. It's always going to start, the homepage will have the search bar. And it's just not going to be something where you can do every single thing you want with it, because KW does want those to be somewhat uniform. So just a little caveat with that. So that's kind of the downside, I guess, but the upside of that is it's very easy to make something that looks good because they already did half of the work for you. So if you look over on the right-hand side here, we have these widgets, and widgets are little sections that are pre-made, and you just kind of have to fill in a couple of details. So if I were to put an agent profile, actually, is there a header on here? No, there's not. So I'm going to put agent profile. And you'll see it just autofills for me. So I've got my picture. I didn't add in any of this just now. Royals Realtors is just their kind of their default that they use for everything if you're on a team. So you can go and change that on the next page. But this just pulls it from your marketing profile within Command. So if you have your bio in there, it's just going to pull it. It's going to pull my phone, my email, my headshot, and my name. And if I go to, well, we'll go to configure widgets in a minute, but that's where I would end up editing this. So I have this block, and you can see anytime I hover my mouse over it, I get like this teal box around it. That just means that I'm within this widget. If I wanted to add maybe a contact form at the bottom, you see this green line that's kind of intermittent. That is going to show me where I'm going to put it. So I could drag it above this widget or below this widget, which I just did. It's looking a little, should I do something weird there? Yeah, let me add that again. I just deleted it. What did I do? Company profile, contact form, contact form. So I'm going to drag this down here. There we go. So now I have this contact us. Contact us, first name, last name. And again, there are only a couple of things that you can edit on this because they do want it to look relatively uniform. So if I go over to configure widgets, you'll see I have 1 out of 2. So my first one is the agent profile, which you can see up here. I've got it auto-filled, my headshot, page title, role and company, all that stuff. So I can edit this if I would like to. They just pulled it to make it easier for me. So I could change this if I wanted. I could put a different image in there. I'm not going to take the time to do that because you don't care. Page title is going to go right there. Role and company. So they just autofill with this lead listing agent at Royals Realtors. I don't know. Buyer and seller agent. Bio title, that's going to go right here. You can see this about Heather. If I saw something in this bio that I didn't want, I could go in and delete it. Contact title, that's how to, I might not want to put contact Heather, maybe I want to put contact us. You'll see that doesn't change immediately. It will change once I click save and apply here. Here's my phone, my email. Okay, I don't want to change that. Save and apply. Buyer and seller agent, and now it says contact us. So if I click on this arrow here, I will go to the next widget, contact us, and there's not a ton that I can change on this one. So contact us text is just going to be this. Want more info? I don't know. Contact us body text. So that is going to be, where is that? Oh, there might be a little thing under here. I if it's a subtitle. Here's a subtitle. Message placeholder. So that's down here just to kind of prompt what they're going to say. And then this is my phone number here. So we'll click save and apply. And now if I scroll down, want more info. Okay, so there's a subtitle there. That's what that was. Buy or sell, blah, blah, blah. And my phone number, again, down here. If I wanted to change that, I could go ahead and, well, I guess it gives me a drop down. It's not gonna let me change that. Click save and apply. So that's basically how you edit the pages using the widgets. If I go back, I'm going to get rid of configure widgets. And you'll see I also have content blocks down here. So that's if I want to just add an additional image or text. So if I wanted to put text up above, I just find that green line, drag it right there. And then you can see it kind of looks like a just a normal text editor. So here is something I wanted to put up here. And then you can see I could do bold, italicized, underline, strike through. This is a link. If I wanted to put a hyperlink to something, I can change the size of it. I don't remember. I might have to actually highlight all of that. There you go. I want a different font. This Times New Roman. Okay, great. And I'm not sure what it did there. This used to be pretty buggy, this editor, and it looks like maybe there's a couple things that they haven't quite figured out yet. Because if I save that, would I like to continue to site and app settings and publish my page? No, I'm not going to publish it, but it will save it. Oh, I didn't change the title of that either. New agent site is what that still says. Let's see if I go back and edit it. Some more words. Size 5. Okay, so that worked all right that time. I'm going to change the title of it up here, example. And you'll see you have what looks kind of like a TV and then a couple of devices over here. This will show you what it looks like based on the view you're looking for. I said that strangely, but if it's on a computer, it would look like this. If it's on a tablet, you see how the dimensions change there. If someone's viewing it on their tablet, this is what it's going to look like. And you can also see what it's going to look like on a phone. So you may want to adjust things based on that. I always like to look at all three of those before I make something live, just to make sure everything looks okay, no matter how somebody's viewing it. And then these are kind of more advanced. If you have a good knowledge of HTML and you wanted to go in here and start editing things a little bit on a more advanced level, you can do that. So it's kind of nice that they give you that option. But for now, we're just going to stick to the basics. So I've got my widgets and my content blocks. And that's about it. So that makes this little baby page. It's called a sub page. So I'm not gonna, well, I don't want to save it. I just want to save it. No. So it keeps prompting me to go to, there we go, site and app settings. Like I said, it's kind of funky the way they have this set up. So I created that new site. It's right here, or that new page, I'm sorry. I have to go to site and app settings if I actually want to make it live on my website. So you can see this little eyeball isn't immediately teal, or that kind of, yeah, I guess it's a teal color. So it's like, okay, well, I just made this page. How do I actually put it on my website? That's where it gets a little confusing. That's when we would go to the site and app settings. And you'll see there's a bunch of different tabs here, and I will go through all these with you. So anyway, as I was saying, so we have our agent site pages. We've got this new agent site. I go to site and app settings. And as I was about to say, I will give you an overview of all of these. But for right now, we need to go to agent site pages. So you can see agent site page. I've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are my 7 drop downs of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess the seventh one's probably home there. So you can see I've got these here, and I can add a page. Now, when I click add a page, I get this little pop-up, and these are all of the pages that I had on this agent site pages part over here. So I just did this new create new agents or new agent site created today, March 24th. So click on that and click continue. So now it's not named anything for right now. I'm going to call it example page, and you can see it changes as I do that over here. The URL slug, that's just like the back part after the domain. So after the heatherhuber.kw.com, what is it going to say over here? And I'm just going to have it say example. SEO description, that is for search engine optimization. So you might want to put in a keyword or two. Save. Settings were updated successfully. So it should now, when I refresh this, might take a minute, but yeah, it's not appearing just yet. At some point, I'm going to get a little page in there that says example. heatherhuber.kw.com/example. Oops, if I select page. Oh, that's just changing the page. So that would be how you go about adding an extra page. And I want to see, I don't remember how long this takes to load. It might take a little bit. No example yet. So we'll come back and check on that in a little bit. Okay, questions so far? I know that's kind of a little confusing way to get there, but that's the way we've got. So any questions yet?
My question is just where, can you remember me one more time the name of the YouTube that you're going to load this up to so I can rewatch it?
Yeah, just go to YouTube and type in Keller Williams Grand Rapids.
Okay, perfect.
And it'll be in there somewhere. I don't remember if Kat has it as Keller Williams Grand Rapids East or not, but it's usually pretty easy to find.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but it's really good information.
Yeah, I just wish they laid it out better. You know, it's a little weird.
Yeah.
Set up, but once you know how to do it, it's all right.
I'm glad we have you to explain it to us.
What's that?
I'm glad we have you to explain it to us.
Oh, well, I'm glad to help. So that is how you go about just adding a site. But you can see there's this, or I'm sorry, a page to your site. You can see there's this front page here. And I have this, full disclosure, I don't use this very much. I use a different domain just because I like the ability to edit it. But a while back, I put these here. And I have this little interested let's talk thing at the bottom here. So this page is also editable. And the way that you do some of that, it's weird. It's not like a page editor. So keep in mind, I'm still in these site and app settings. And now these are going to help me out a little bit with I don't know, like the front page and some of the other things we can edit. So agent site hero text. Find your way home. I don't remember if that's the default or not, but that's this. So I can change that to, I don't know. Your journey starts here. Site hero image, that is just going to be, so see how these kind of alternate, not a slideshow really, they just kind of fade in and out. If you had images that you wanted to upload to that, you can. These are just the default KW ones. Parisha Jackson, and I don't remember. This might be it. No, it's not. I don't remember what her URL is for hers, but she's just got awesome. She has like pictures of herself helping clients. I don't remember which market center she's out of either, but her name's Parisha Jackson. And she's just awesome at it. Like it's kind of faded out like this. It looks really cool just with her like going through a listing presentation or showing a house. So it's kind of cool that it features her. So that's what she has on her site as those background images. So really they can be whatever you want them to be. And you can either delete them here or click upload just to upload your own. I do think there's a maximum, oh yeah, up to 5 images. So, and again, I don't love the way they have this set out because this general settings, that's going to be your front page of this. So your front page here. But then in the next breath, I have the download app landing page, which has nothing to do with that front page. This would be more when you go into those widgets, you can create a download app page, like download my app. And then you can change what it says there, what the hero text is. So it's kind of weird the way they have it laid out. And then if you had virtual tours, you could put them here. Preferences. So these preferences are if you go to your actual search engine here, if I type in the neighborhood. Okay, let's go. Well, I'll just click on one of these, this actual address. So if this opens up my search and I scroll down, you can see on the right-hand side, there's me and a little bit more about it. It says a little thing about Keller Mortgage. Over here, I can decide whether I want to display that Keller Mortgage or not. And then the same thing goes for Keller Covered. And the same thing is for displaying neighborhoods on my actual agent site. So that would be like, where is it? Maybe it's right there. Let's go back to my Creston that I said before, and we'll find our actual neighborhood here. We won't find our Creston, we'll find Creston Hills in Mishawaka, Indiana. So this is a neighborhood, right? And Keller Williams provides those with data based on the Nextdoor app. Again, I'm running out of memory, so I can't open a billion tabs at once, I guess. But this setting is just saying, do I want to display neighborhoods or not? And then I can save the changes there. For URLs, so I believe it just defaults to your name, .kw.com. I could change this to something else if I wanted to, as long as it's not taken by somebody else. So if I typed in grandrapids.kw.com, I'm sure that's taken by somebody. It might even be our market center, I don't know. Oh, it's Thomas Switek, who isn't even with us anymore. Thanks, Thomas. But yeah, so if I tried to type that in there, if I typed in grandrapids.kw.com, it would give me an error message and say that somebody else is already using it. App URL settings. So this is a little confusing because it looks like you could change that, but you can't. So it's going to be app.kw.com, and this code is a specific code where if I give anybody this link, they will be able to download our consumer app. So it's like the Zillow or Trulia equivalent, right? For clients to search for homes. And it's going to be branded specifically to me because I use this KWDAHF7W. That's my code. So if you took this and you gave it to a client, they're going to be branded to me and they're going to see my face all over everything. So just so you know, that's where you would find that. This one you can edit, this one you cannot. Featured listings. So now, if it were me, I would put this in the general tab here. This is, let me go back to my own. Down here. So I put in the title, Homes in Creston, and then I selected some listings. So that's what I've got right there. Click select listings, it will pop up this, which is going to be only my listings that are active. I don't have any active listings right now, so there's no listings that are matching my search. I can drop this down to all listings, and that doesn't even have to be Keller Williams. If I want to advertise this Silver Hollow Road, I can do that. And you can see here, there's Sotheby's, Coldwell Banker, Callahan. So if you had a specific one that you wanted to advertise, you would search by property address, MLS number, city, zip code. Maybe you just want to look at, what's in East Grand Rapids, and maybe I want to feature something.
I have a question, Heather. If you click on one of those, so
Mhm.
I'm in this area, I just picked one out in Muskegon where I'm at,
Mhm.
and it says sync listing and an MLS. Which of the following applies for this listing? I'm a primary agent or I'm a co-listing agent, and I'm neither on this particular property. So I'm curious, if you clicked one of those, it's not your listing, but it's in the area that you service. Like you have homes in Creston. If I picked another northeast side that's near Creston, does that make you select?
No, I think I just did what you were saying, right?
Yep, you selected it.
And I have no affiliation with this listing. Do you have it selected up here on the right-hand side for only my listings or all listings?
I have only my listings, that's why.
Okay, cool.
That would help. Sweet. Okay.
Good deal. So I'm not going to save changes just because I don't care to. Well, why not? Just for the purposes of our demonstration today. Okay, so that should be saved now. And then the last little tab here we have is theme. And you don't have a ton of options here. You have red theme or dark theme. Which do you prefer? And it changes, like you can see here, this, and that's really about it. So I don't know, to me, it's kind of silly that they devoted a whole tab to that, but. Okay, let's see if any of my changes are appearing yet. Okay, yeah, so I changed it to example listings, and here's that East Grand Rapids home that I decided to put on there. Good deal. Have they uploaded my example yet? No, they have not. Why it's taking so long. They go back to agent.
Well,
It does say that.
another question.
Yeah.
Would I have to go back in here if I did use this for certain things? Because I have a team site, so I have another website. But if someone searched, I picked J. Kilroy, and that one was available.
Mhm.
Would I have to go in here and update these houses that I picked, these example ones? If that one sells, if that house on Canterbury Way sells, do you have to go back in and pick new listings for it?
Yes.
Your site to pop up?
Yep. Unfortunately, you'd have to, those aren't going to go away automatically. That'd be cool. But yeah, they're always updating things. And now that I think it was last May and June, somewhere around there, they did the tech people at KWRI did their own 66-day challenge of, hey, let's fix all of the bugs. So they went through and fixed as many bugs as possible. And since then, they've been slowly adding like, oh, now you can do this, or now you can do this, more features and functionality. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that at some point comes out. But yeah, for right now, you would have to go in and delete it yourself. Okay, so we have explored agent site pages and the site and app settings. If you click this Learn More with Kelly guides, that'll just kind of walk you through everything. Which Kelly guide would you like to complete? The agent site or consumer setting? They'll walk you through those. It's kind of a nice thing. What we haven't gone over is landing pages or guide builder. So a landing page, you'll see here's my agent site pages, right? These go along with this website. My landing pages are completely separate from my website. There are no links to any of these on my website. And the reason that you might use one of these standalone pages is I use them specifically for ads. I'll run a Facebook ad, whether it's my listing or somebody else's. And I can just make a web page super easily, and it looks really nice. So if I click on this, I'll show you an example of that. No, I won't, because I keep running out of memory. I'm trying to limit it. So I've got a header. I've got this little, just kind of a snippet of one of my listings, little preview. It pulled all of this from the MLS. So these were my marketing remarks. Mhm. And it just goes right through all of the pictures and kind of a slideshow. There's a map. Oh, shoot, I didn't update that. I should have done that. I put Barton Hills instead of Heritage Hill. Womp womp. And then a little thing at the bottom. So I'll show you how to make that. Oops. So when I'm back in this tab, earlier I clicked create a new page and I went to on my agent site. This time I'm going to go to as a landing page. And you'll see it's pretty similar. We have slightly different widgets over here, but the editor is basically the same. And what I do in order to just make a cool looking page in like 5 minutes or less is I will drag over a header and I will put a listing. And then I'm going to put, so what's the bottom of that? I'm going to put, what do I usually put? The market snap. Let's see, it defaults to Barton Hills, so I apparently didn't change that in the last one. And then I put, where's the contact form? Oh, lead form. Put that down. So now I click configure widgets. And if sometimes I'll do this to advertise other people's listings too with their permission if I'm looking for buyers. And I'll just run ads on their behalf. If I do that, I will also put in a text content block somewhere around here, just so that I can put listing courtesy of J. Kilgo. Oops. Just so everybody knows I'm staying above board. It's not my listing, it's Jay's. And then I click configure widgets and we'll see I have branded header, listing, new market snap, and lead form. It's giving me checks on all of those except for listing. But I can still click on them. It's just saying, hey, as far as we're concerned, this is fine. It doesn't need any attention. But if I wanted to add luxurious, oops, can't spell today. Pool. I don't know. I'm just making things up. And there's my headshot. It has my name, phone number, email, team logo, and the KW logo. If I click save and apply, now I have luxurious pool as a little thing right there. The only thing is sometimes, okay, it's making it so it just doesn't show up. Okay, that's fine. So I'm good for my first widget. I'll go on to the next one. Okay, I have no listing selected, so I need to do that. So same thing as before, where you can just search by property address or MLS or whatever here. I'm just going to pick one, just in the interest of time. And then they will load all of the images here. This one looks like maybe it only has one. I'm going to have to take some time and do a computer, play computer doctor. Okay, so I had to refresh that, so it took everything out of there for me. But essentially, you would just go through and edit all of the widgets. I'll just do 2 of them this time, save some memory. So I've got branded header and I've got my lead form. And then if I say I'm done, I will save that as a landing page. Yes, save it as a draft because I'm not publishing it. I can publish it and that would be fine because there are no links anywhere right now that go to it. If I click on landing pages, there's my draft. I haven't published it yet. I guess I'd have to go back in and edit it. So we'll publish it. The landing pages, and you can see I can toggle this as active or inactive. You'll notice these are inactive. This one is active. That would just give somebody an error if they typed in all of this and tried to get there. because I don't have it published. I can change this URL. So you'll see here, I did 216 college. I like to do that just because I'm a little anal retentive. You don't have to. So now that's what the URL is. And then if I were to click on this, it pops up. Remember, I only did the header and I only did the lead form at the bottom. So that's what my page is. So in times when I have more memory on my computer, I would do a header, a listing, a market snap, and which a market snap just basically tells you about the area, the neighborhood, and this contact form. And then that's, I don't know, it's just a nice, cute little, well, let me show you. Cute little page that's relatively easy to make. It didn't take me very long at all. So that's how you would make a landing page. Questions about that? Okay, and the last thing we have to get into here is the guide builder.
My question about the landing page is, are there other videos on the YouTube that talk a little bit more about the pages and making them?
Yeah, I've gone over this probably 2 or 3 times and in more depth. So if you go to our YouTube page, there should be 1 or 2 on there. I don't know how recent they are, but they really haven't made that many updates to the landing pages portion.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, and then guide builder. So this is really, other than when we were in the site and app settings, talking about your URL for downloading your app, and also just whether or not you want certain things to display, like color covered or color mortgage. This is really the only other thing that is editable about your consumer app. So remember, consumer app, command app. Command app is this platform, this entire, all of these, maybe not all of them, for you to use. It's your app. And then the consumer app is the app that your clients would download to search for homes and for you to keep them updated on the process of how everything's going. And this page is just specifically about that, about these guides. So you can see you've got a number of steps here, how many clients you have, and then you can edit the guide here. So I'm going to click edit guide. And when someone's scrolling down on their phone, that's why it's shaped kind of this way, because it's as though somebody would be scrolling through on their mobile phone. You can see there's all of these different steps. So I'm in buyer's guide right now. Step 1 is begin your home hunt. Step 2 is get pre-approved, tour homes, make an offer, blah, blah, blah. And it just goes straight down there. If you wanted to add a step, you could do that here. But with each of these, if I click on it, and if they were to click on it, a new page for them would pop up. The subtitle is what's right here, the title and the subtitle. That's what it looks like before they click on it. Once they do click on it, this workspace text is kind of an expansion on that. And Keller Williams starts you off with just some generic stuff, generic verbiage. So if you wanted to go in there and edit any of that, you definitely can. And this is where you would do that. Or this image, for instance, again, that's just a stock default image. You can go ahead and change that. You would just click this replace image and upload something from your computer. And then it's just the same thing for all these. Make an offer. Okay. As you can see, there's quite a bit of extra verbiage on each of these. So that would be for the buyer's guide. And then there's also this introduction. So when they're within their app, and there's like some little button that you can click that's like, oh, well, more information. This is kind of their intro to the buyer's guide. And then that would take them over to this guide, opens it up, and then they can actually check off, and you can check off steps along the way. That's where you'll see these little circles. So they know how far along we are in the process. And then if we go back to Guide Builder and we go to selling, it's the same sort of thing, but just from a seller's perspective. So again, here are all of your steps. You can add a step if you'd like. If you click on any of these, you get just the basic image, title, subtitle, which is what you see here. And then anything under workspace details is going to be what happens when you click on it. That's the text they see. And again, with the introduction, congratulations on starting the process of selling your home. This timeline will guide you, blah, blah, blah. And that's about it. So there's not a ton of customization you can do with the app. There's slightly more on the website portion of it, but again, it's Keller Williams wants to keep things somewhat uniform. So if you do prefer to do something, you don't like the layout of it, or you want more functionality, different features, I use Wix. I know I'm kind of going off script here and not teaching you about command, but this is what I use for my actual website. Oh, yeah, okay, so that's Wix. And you do have to pay for that. So Keller Williams is free. This you have to pay for. I don't remember how much I pay for it. But I'll just give you, just so you can see what my actual website looks like. They have templates on here too. And obviously, this does not look like the Keller Williams one that they provide. It has a header here, but it's not exactly the same. You know, it's not going to look as uniform as the rest of them. So I have like a little slideshow here. I've got another slideshow with my quotes, or what do you call them? Reviews. And then I've got a little footer. I will say for my home search, I just went and I put the URL for my actual Keller Williams site within here, and it might not let me show you because I don't have a ton of memory to play with. But if you want to go to like just go to heatherhuberhomes.com, you can see any of this. I just actually put my Keller Williams site inside of here so that there's a little IDX feed so they can actually go and search for homes there. You can purchase different IDX feeds too. I don't know what IDX stands for. Maybe some of you on the call know, but that's essentially that home search tool where they can type in things and look for homes. So. Okay, I think that is about all I've got for the day. What questions do you have?
This was pretty straightforward. I super appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. I'm sorry my memory is being dumb here.
Oh, no worries.
Hopefully you got something out of it.
Definitely did. If we have individual questions about stuff, like my page, just like I have one that still says no view of it. I'm sorry, it says come on. I don't know. It said something like it's still processing it, like to make my site live or viewable. My question is, can we contact you, like, if, hey Heather, do you have a few minutes to look at my site, or I have a question about command
For sure.
in this consumers tab?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Actually, I've got
Awesome,
another
awesome.
call at noon with somebody that's just an individual thing where he's having an issue, so I'm helping him out. So yeah, that's totally fine. Shoot me a text, shoot me an email,
Okay.
whatever. Yeah.
Will do. Thank you
Cool.
so much.
You are welcome. Well, I think that about.
Yeah, thank you so much, Heather.
You are welcome. So have a good day. I'm going to get this stopped recording.